Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live, June 2021, with the theme Like, Comment, Subscribe. Good day, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to thank all the continued support of my Patreons and donators. It's absolutely amazing to see you all there. I'd also like to thank those who have followed me on Twitter. Even though I've only joined Twitter recently, it's very nice to see so many of you there already. I'm sure you'll be able to find me if you look. Before we begin, as always, I'd like to explain that this is completely optional for you. Whatever the hypnosis will do, you can safely listen per your own choice. Of course, I will not be able to chat. As always, you can download the MP3 of the session and much more on hypno.nimja.com. And I'd also like to thank the almost 1,300 supporters on Patreon. It's growing quite nicely and very impressive. I also would like to thank you appropriately for liking, commenting, and subscribing. This is the 200,000 subscribers celebration, as many of you have already guessed. But of course, we will still discuss some of the theme. For those of you who are new, the way this works, the recording will be on the site afterwards with background music and some cutting of the chatter. First, we discuss the theme, then we will actually do the session, and after the session, there will be space for the Q&A, where you may ask questions, and if you are lucky, we'll get answers. Though the answers may not always fit the questions, and sometimes I'm just silly, or playful, or one of these things. Hello everyone, and it's really nice to see so many of you there already. Now, let us see if I forgot anything else. Oh yes, later this month, there will be the Nimja Live Lights for silver and gold patrons. Voting for that will begin probably tomorrow. And I have also enabled YouTube memberships, where, well, you don't have to subscribe at all. It's mostly to make sure that ads will not be enabled on the channel, because I do not want any ads on my video. And for now, that should be completely fine. And once the event starts, please limit chatting during the trance session. It will be switched to members only and switched back after the trance is done. And very nice to see both old and new people here. So I wonder if all of you are ready. Yes, ads in the middle of a hypnosis video would be quite uncomfortable. Now, shall we begin discussing the theme? So with like, comment, subscribe, it is both about how you interact with the content that I make, because I actually appreciate each and every comment and like and subscription that you do, and I'm very grateful for so many of you enjoying and also reacting to what I make. For the celebration itself, one of the things that might be nice is a sort of Nimja Inc. celebration. Or perhaps something else. 200,000 hugs. That would be a lot of hugs. Something like an office party or just an achievement party. I'm sure there's many. Well, I mean, it depends on how you define a hug. 200,000 hugs, if one hug takes like a few seconds, would be quite a long time. Drug the office cupcakes. Celebratory drops. I don't know if I want to say the word drop like 200,000 times. And indeed, it could also be me guiding you into liking, commenting, and subscribing more. Although, as most of you probably know, I never ask that at the end of my videos. In a way, this is not me asking you to, but me thanking you for what you've already done. I actually quite like the idea of like a sort of best of. Sort of like why you have liked, commented, and subscribed so much. And yeah, all of us in one room would be quite complicated. The biggest Stadia can do about 55,000 people. So that's a quarter of the subscribers. And indeed, bracelet ideas are cute, but I don't think I will go that direction. I like the idea of a party with the best of. And it's quite alright if you're not subscribed. I still appreciate your presence and interaction. It's quite strange to realize that there's so many. Light show. Interesting idea. A classy party. Several people like the drugged cupcakes. I have an idea for that. Maybe not drugged, but something else. Yeah, 200,000 seconds of trance, which is indeed over 55 hours. Same for hugs. If a hug would only last 1 second, which is a very short hug, that would be 55 hours of continuous hugs. Can't stop thinking about everything in this room. A little well-wishing, sprinkling water and forest ambience. A toast at the end. Here is to 200,000 more. And after a year of almost no hugs, 55 hours of continuous hugs sounds pretty good. This is true. And if 55 hours of hugs might get a little sweaty, you just need bigger fans. Wait, was that a pun? 200,000 lightning bugs. I think it's 10 million lightning bugs. Or 10 million fireflies? Yeah, 10 million fireflies. And it's 10,000 lightning bugs. No, it's 99 air balloons. Luftballon. All right. I think, and indeed no glitter, I think we are ready to begin. I have a good idea for this. Let me set this up. Over here, I think is better. Yeah. All right. Now, please sit back, fasten your seatbelts, get yourself comfortable, and get ready to enjoy the ride. Also, it will help a lot if you're listening with headphones and you're in a nice, comfy position where you're able to relax as much as you like. Like I said before, participation is entirely up to you. If you do not feel comfortable, or if anything I say feels like you would rather not participate, you are in no way required. Let me see if I have this correctly. Oh, I do need to do this, otherwise, yes. All right, I am switching over the chat. Switch. So in a few seconds, or by now, it should already be good. Double checking the audio stuff. And what is going on over here? That needs to go away, and then we are ready. Whew. A celebration of 200,000 subscribers. It is, frankly, a number which I wouldn't have expected a few years ago. And we'll see where it goes next. It's been quite a journey so far. And indeed, yay, agency. All right, I am stalling slightly to give the last stragglers time to get in, and then we are ready to begin. There we go. And of course, even though you're not able to say this, I will remember the spiral. Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live. Like, comment, subscribe. It was a long journey to get here, an even longer time before we arrived. It all started in the year 2014, with just a few simple recordings. But before I continue, we must first set the stage. Close your eyes and imagine in the mail you got an invitation, old-fashioned post. But that was on purpose. The paper was quite fancy. It had a spiral embossed in the background, and an all too familiar logo in the top right. You are invited to attend the glorious celebration of 200,000 subscribers at Nimja Incorporated. Of course, it is entirely free of charge, and you may leave your coat and mind at the door if you will. Arriving was quite the challenge. There were a lot of people there. However, there was also a lot of space. Everyone was respectful towards one another, and thanks to very smooth organization, it didn't take long for you to enter. The hall was enormous, for now just simply lit. Something told you that it wouldn't stay this way. There were still people coming in, which allowed you to look at the refreshments offered. Interestingly, the refreshments weren't like most parties. There was no alcohol, barely any hot drinks either. Just some simple coffee, tea, and a few cool drinks, water, juices. Relatively healthy. The food, however, was much more interesting. There were cupcakes with very interesting and tasty looking spirals. Various cookies that included, well, familiar logo and spiral designs as well. Even the more savory snacks all had an interesting design that allowed you to imagine one of the many ways in which all of this was achieved. Some of the cupcakes and cookies and snacks had different designs. Some quite innocent, other less so. Each an image reminiscent of something of the past. I won't name them all. I'm sure you are perfectly capable of recognizing, well, at least some of them, maybe more than a few. There was plenty of it. You could pick and choose whatever you want. And as you slowly were led deeper into the hall and allowed yourself to take in the sights and sounds, you noticed that there was a familiar, gentle music playing in the background. There was a susurrus of noise, a gentle speaking. People curious and excited, wondering what would happen. Were you alone? Were you with some familiar people? The lights dimmed suddenly, and a show was about to begin. The gentle music that had been playing in the background was much more audible now that everyone else was quiet. A single dot of light became visible at the very top of the hall. It grew and became a very familiar spiral. then gently shifting from shape to shape. It was so fascinating and beautiful. Subtle use of color and curve, lines and structure all created a vivid atmosphere, and yet it slowly drew your eyes back down, focusing, looking, pointed at the stage where the lights all focused together into a single solid circle, a spotlight. I stepped onto the stage, neatly dressed, and of course, smiling with a very familiar smile. Playful, maybe somewhat naughty, but also quite nice. Thank you all for being here, and thank you so much for everything that you've done. Every listen, every view, every like, every comment, every single subscription, every little bit of support, every suggestion, every piece of feedback and critique. Thank you. I appreciate all of it. I read all of it. I absorb all of it. And thanks to you, I can learn from all of it, to grow even better, more experienced, and more caring in all that I make. Thank you. And I'd like to go back to how this all began. In 2014, I made a few simple things together with a very dear friend of mine. And then I decided to upload them. A few microphones later and a lot of work, we are now gathered here to celebrate. And so much we have to celebrate, so much we have to do. Maybe we can do this best with a few memories, repetitions. Let me remind you, for example, the joy of simple whispers. Can you imagine the whole audience listening to each and every word? A whole hall quiet, barely breathing, not wanting to make a single sound so that they can hear each and every word that I whisper. Do they want to feel the simple wind across their faces? Do they want to feel the warmth of the sun that will help them relax even deeper? Do you want to let the whispered words weave their way through your mind, like a river running through your thoughts and slowly carving a beautiful stream of consciousness, leading into nothingness, dropping of a waterfall of thought into a deep pool of emptiness, a wonderfully drifting state of floating, gliding higher as you sink deeper. And of course, there's the joy of up and down, a simple wake that as you still listen to my words and can easily imagine the stage before you, would you focus on the shape of my hand, despite the distance, no matter how far or close to the stage you would be? How much would you see? How focused would your eyes be on how I hold my fingers, knowing that there is a word coming? A simple, single syllable, 4 letters that are so good at letting you drop and drift and mindlessly float in that wonderful state, as you can feel my gratitude for every single one of you, for every like, comment, and subscribe. And in a way, this allows me to give something back, where I hope that you like what is happening, that you can comment on how it feels as you subscribe to the sensation. Pauses, those wonderful, frustrating pieces of time in between the sentences that I speak. They could be so beautiful in their simplicity, waiting for the next word, even if that word is wake, causing you to find the shape of my hand again, staring, focusing, almost willing the shape to become that simple state where a snap is so close to the creation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop. And again adrift in the wonderful ways that you've known so many times before and new again. A pause, a whisper, these sweet sensations that are caused by my voice, these dreams of relaxation that run through your body. And if you allow it, it will spread through every muscle and fiber, every nerve of your body to allow you to relax even more. And with a simple pause can let you drift even deeper. In a way, you could imagine the spotlight slowly turning into a twisting, turning spiral, even as your eyes barely have enough strength to open as you try to wake and enjoy the wonderful struggle for a moment until you realize that you might have been staring at my hand once again to drop deeper. You have done so much for me. Every bit of support, every interaction, every second of your time that you allowed me to fill with my voice. Thank you. You've done amazing. And I appreciate every like, every comment, every subscription. As you continue to like, comment, and subscribe, I will continue to appreciate your efforts. And I will do my best to earn them, to deliver high quality and deeply enjoyable work. At times, I may be a little naughty, while at others, I will be very nice. And the gentle waves of my voice, the wonderful whispers that drift, allow you to relax so easily, going in and out of trance. It's as easy as breathing. So let yourself internally awake and remember the place where you were following the presentation. The different snacks and drinks, the tone and atmosphere, the show of light. How it all felt right, intriguing, and liberating in a way. And the beauty is that the space in between the words, every sentence that you've heard, is both for you and for me. And as you continue to listen, to drift, to explore and experience, as you continue to go on new adventures and new ways to find yourself, thank you for all that you've done and all that you will do. Now, of course, as much as you would probably enjoy it, at some point this presentation will have to come to an end. However, I'm sure that you will be able to enjoy yourself even more afterwards, feeling refreshed and reinvigorated after the awakening. And for that, all I have to do is count up from 1 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake. And 9, 10, awake. And thank you for your intention and for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you, all of you, for listening to this. Whew. That was, I think, very nice. And actually, I don't think I made many mistakes in this one. That was very nice. It was a lot of fun. And I'm sure that all of you were so upset by the hand movements. Especially because I know for a fact that many of you have asked for hand movements before. Oh, your internet died in the middle of a trance. That's really frustrating. I'm so sorry. Let me have a look. How long was that? That was 21 minutes. Although I think for some people it definitely felt like both longer and shorter. I wonder if I ever get the chance for a light show such as that. It would be fun to play with projectors that are able to like merge different visuals into things. And no, Jouetta Papa, there is no stadium that would hold all of the subscribers. The maximum, as far as I know, is 55,000, which is already a lot of people. Let me have a look if all of this is going okay. I think that is it. I mean, I'm glad you switched earbuds in time. Oh, wow. The biggest stadium holds 132,000 people. That cannot be healthy. So, let us begin the Q&A. Ashwolf Dreams asks, do you think you'd make a trip or tour for 1 million subscriptions? I mean, no, I don't think I would do it for subscribers. I still want to go to the US because they have supported me for more than 2,000 per month. However, some stupid little thing happened and that had to be postponed a bit. Although I am very happy to respectfully wait until the pandemic situation is past, because I would not want to make the lives of the medical professionals any harder than they already have it. Luna asks, do you rather like taking walks in winter or in the summer? I prefer winter because there's less mosquitoes. I also generally like cool more than warmth. Sarah asked, how did you put your pinky down without moving the next two fingers? How do you do that with any of your fingers? That's just like, if you practice a bit, you can do that. You just have to tense your other fingers at the same time. And of course, like, once you practice certain things, then you can do anything. Live long and prosper. Nadine asks, what makes you roll your eyes every time you hear it? Rick. I mean, if we're talking about rolling. Julia Ruth asks, are the original files still on the site? Yes, those are files 1, 2, and 3. They are recorded with a different microphone. Jan Mars asks, how do you come up with such a nice hypnosis live? Practice. Phoenix asks, at the presentation of Nimja Inc., what drink did you get yourself? Obviously, water. Sophie asks, do you get the same enjoyment out of making gentle files as you do with erotic kinky files? Which genre do you prefer to make? I'm not sure about genre. It's more like certain fantasy files I like really a lot. It's really nice to have like a file where I'm able to write a story. Katie asks, what's the most annoying question you get asked on a regular basis? Maybe that one. Other than that, there are certain questions that are just asked a lot, like favorite color. Robert Blessing asks, can you do adult baby diaper, and I don't know what the L is for. Adult baby diaper lover. Can you do adult baby diaper lover hypnosis? Maybe eventually. Luna asks, do you have a good memory? Yes. Ashwolf Dreams asks, what is a file idea that you wanted to try but have not done? I have about 400 to-do list things. Just a Little Me asks, do you adopt a more calm persona when you're a ninja, or are you usually fairly calm? I am usually fairly calm. However, when I am on stream, I do have to be even more mindful because this is recorded. Every mistake that I made is remembered for the ages. At least there's plenty of proof that I make fools of myself. Robert Blessing asks, what got you started with hypnosis? A very old science magazine when I was 11. Oh, that's a cute question. Nadine asks, if animals could talk, which would be the rudest? Cats. Oh, no, wait. Ferrets. I think ferrets would probably be the rudest. Annalie the Fair asks, do people refuse to shake your hand now? Well, not related to hypnosis. Jan Marsh asks, how did you come up with your logo? I wanted a triangular logo because everyone uses spirals or pocket watches. Oh, interesting question. Jezebel asks, do you know if that original magazine article that got you interested in hypnosis is in an online archive anywhere? I highly doubt it, but now I want to know. Emma Swain says, cats are proof that the earth isn't flat. If it was, cats would have pushed everything off the edge. Sarah asks, do you often have trouble with background or traffic noises when recording files? Do you re-record when it happens or do some editing to reduce it? So I do re-recording if it's really strong, and I try to have a really good microphone. So if I talk really nice and close, then the background sound is less audible. What also helps is having background music covers up some of the other background music. Ashwolf Dream says, have you ever been recognized in your day-to-day life? Only once, and technically by someone who's met me once before. Katie asks, how often do you do the laundry? That depends what's for. With clothes, like once a week works well. And then on top of that, you have other things like bed sheets and towels. The narrator asks, if animals could talk, which would be the nicest? Maybe flamingos, but I don't know why. Mastermind asks, what's the best strategy game you have played? And no, I'm not talking about tying up a brat. Oh, best strategy game. I'm not that much of a fan of strategy games. I think Total Annihilation was really good. I quite like the Virus game as well. Oh, and the original Dune game, or Dune 2. Oh no, wait. The nicest bird would obviously be a penguin, because they have suits. Still Panini asks, speaking of brats, what's your favorite punishment for a brat? I don't know if I should tell you. Sayana asks, how does it feel for yourself to know that so many people like your files and are waiting patiently every week for new files to come out in live events? It's nice. It's nice to know that I'm wanted. Penguins. Or, as a famous British actor said, penguins. Pip asks, what inspired the butterfly symbol in the background? An old comic where the butterfly was said to be the messenger of the soul. Nadine asks, what's your cure for hiccups? You will probably hate me for this, but math. Complex math makes you think and distracts you from the reflex of a hiccup. Iris asks, did you like the actual penguins and actual bow ties that I put on FetLife? I am not sure if I've seen them. Subdued Hughes asks, what's your biggest irrational fear? Well, so the thing is, I don't really have irrational fears in that sense. I would sooner say that I have things that easily make me uncomfortable. I, for example, generally don't wear shorts. I wear like long pants because, like, even in summer, it's like prevents like creatures sitting on my legs. Becca Rose asks, what's the most viewed file on your site? It's a very naughty one. Annalise asks, what would you advise a hypnotee to do to improve or grow in exercising agency? Practice, like learning to wake up when it's needed. Ashwolf Dreams asks, what's one superstition that you believe or find most interesting? I wonder if you believe in a superstition, if you would still call it superstition. Because if you believe in it, it's not superstition to you. It is like reality or importance. Madame Blackamus Prime asks, so you don't like bugs? Oh, I love bugs, like to look at them and to like study them. And in like a museum, or not a museum, in a zoo, I am very happy to look at any kinds of bugs, insects, and spiders. I just don't like them walking on my skin. Like, I don't panic or anything, it's just uncomfortable. A few people have asked, what games have you been playing lately? A very strange game that I've been playing is Wildfire, which is kind of a stealth game, sort of. Sophie asks, would you ever do a file in Dutch or another language besides English? Oh, I have used other languages in various files. Just a Little Me asks, what's the time that you remember turning most blushy for a fun reason? Pancakes, obviously. I mean, by now, not anymore, but that definitely caused me to blush at the time. Jimmy Chaffo asks, do either cilantro or ginger taste like soap to you? Well, ginger definitely doesn't taste like soap. Ginger tastes like ginger. It can be sweet or spicy depending on how it's prepared. Nadine asks, what do you think of garden gnomes? They can be cute. Blurrent asks, what does your inner garden look like? Well, now that is a personal question I will not answer. But I will openly answer not answering it. Sariana asks, if we ask very nicely, would you upload the Dutch files on the website? Probably not. Delta asks, should people take breaks from hypnosis, and if so, when? I mean, you should take breaks from anything that you do too much. If hypnosis or anything else is interfering with chores or with other tasks in your life, then you should take a break. Nadine asks, what's the closest thing to real magic? Science. Mastermind, think fast. Which is better, blank or white? Translucent. Just a Little Me asks, is hypnosis addictive? Not more than books. Subdued Use asked, have you played Friday Night Funkin', and if so, how good are you at it? I would say I'm passable at rhythm games. I didn't like it that much, but I only played it on Newgrounds. Katie asks, I think you knew how to expect this, but what does your parrot voice sound like? Please give an example. Let me go a bit further away from the microphone for this one, because parrot voices tend to be screechy. Do you like casinos? Jan Mars asks, do you like casinos? No, I'm decent at math, so I know that the house always wins. Casey Sreen asks, what is the first word that comes to mind after reading this sentence? ? Annelie de Fer asks, did you have to practice the dominant looks in the mirror, or did they come naturally? They actually came naturally. Xenix asks, what is the last song that made you dance along? Yuki Satellites by Riemt Lego. Alex Shiver asks, so when I hear my voice in recordings, I cringe. Does that happen to you? Oh, hearing your own voice is really weird because normally when you hear your own voice, you're hearing it with bone conductivity. And when you're recording yourself, you're hearing your voice as other people hear you, which is completely different from bone conductivity. So you have to get used to how your voice sounds like to someone else. Still Panini says, oh my god, that was actually really good. Thank you. I mean, it's not that hard to do a parody voice. Ooh. At what points for you did being dominant turn into a dominant? When did you start labeling yourself? So I would say that being dominant, or rather feeling dominant, is something that was naturally part of me. And I always enjoyed taking charge, making sure that things happened right, and generally taking responsibility. The switch to calling myself a dominant was more figuring out that the label existed rather than feeling like anything specific. And a good point, Marita, that when you look into a mirror, what you see is actually mirrored from how you really look. If you look at a picture, a lot of people feel that they look weird. It's because they are only used to a reflection and not a picture. Nobiap asks, have you ever tried boxing or any fighting sports? Not really. I mean, I enjoy wrestling a little bit. I believe that parrots would ask for crackers. Nadine asks, what's your favorite way to exude a pink hue on someone's face? You're actually... No, wait, I think I can do even better. You're quite beautiful. The narrator asks, would you ever do a file in a parrot voice? No, for the same reason that I wouldn't do a file in a pirate voice. Even if the file was released on September 19th. Yar, I wouldn't be doing a pirate voice for that. I am bisexual or something like that asks, can I say Happy Pride Month? Of course, Happy Pride Month to you. I am glad that my content is always available for all identities and gender possibilities. Meowzapalooza asks, do you have CNC files? And if so, can you do more? Yes. Look for files that have a warning. It also helps that I can do a rolling R, so I can do a really nice pirate, like yarr, almost like a growl. I be drinking too much grog. Okay, just for funnies, Happy Pride Month to ye all. I mean, pirates are obviously in favor of Pride Month. They generally don't allow women on the ship, and they're all men happily traveling together. I mean, yeah, sure, a pirate kidnap file would be really fun, but the problem is that certain voices just sound more silly than serious. It's very difficult to do a serious pirate file. Ye be feeling very sleepy. I don't know. Sarah asks, where in your mouth or throat do you roll your R's? The top, basically the top of my mouth. Not too far front and not all the way back either. The Jolly Roger pretty much says it all, yes. Nadine asks, speaking of pirates, which Pirates of the Caribbean movie is your favorite? Well, the first one is the strongest one of the bunch. But, I mean, they're all enjoyable. Just a Little Me asks, why do lives feel different when live than when recorded? Or maybe that's just me. Well, the atmosphere is a little different. Subdued Hughes asks, have you played Omori? I don't believe I have. Jezebel asks, and I will relay the question. What can I do to encourage our artistic types to do Nimja as a pirate art? Iris asks, if I ask a question in robot voice next live light, would you answer in robot? Well, you'll have to see. Joetta Papa says, my favorite pirate show was Serenity. Oh, yes. Nadine asks, would you rather the aliens that make first contact be robotic or organic? Well, robotic has the advantage that we cannot give them any diseases. Ash Wolf Dreams asks, demon voice, please. Well, there you go. Mastermind asks, if Nimja Inc. produced shampoos, would they be strong enough to brainwash? Oh yes, with a minty freshness on top. Katie asks, can we get Wisdom's 2 hours automatic idle prompts back? Oh, I would have to look at that. I think there was a reason why I was careful with those. Obviously, it would be like Nimja Inc. shampoo. Clear your mind. Or the best solution for a dirty mind. Iris asks, are there games that you don't like people playing? Are there games that you don't like people knowing you play? If so, why is this? Well, because one of the downsides of being famous is that people want to do things with you, and sometimes I also just enjoy doing things on my own. For example, I used to play various like common online games, and I like not being pursued there. Actually, it wouldn't be wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. It would just be wash, rinse, repeat, 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 repeat. And indeed, of course, there's hair conditioning. Hair conditioned, gone tomorrow. Actually, out of curiosity, how many ideas do I have at the moment? Let me have a quick look. 482. I think I wrote hair conditioning already down quite a while ago. Nopiep asks, what are your plans on Twitter? So Twitter allows me to share some really small things that I'm not really sure where to share anything else. I've shared some hypnotic visuals on there and also some small silly thoughts. I might make a page on nimja.com eventually with the visuals. Beach Babe asks, have you ever done any other voice work? Sorry, not yet. Katie asks, what is your favorite CNC/sneaky thing to do with someone? Sudden and surprising triggering. Nadine asks, will the shampoo be bunny safe? Yes. Nimja Inc. doesn't do any animal testing. Pip asks, what is the funniest file you made? There's a tickle induction. There's Smile With Me. There is, I think, a laughing file as well. Fanimal testing. Iris asks, why are you on a fractionation trip at the moment? Well, specifically for this file, fractionation was mentioned as one of the many things that people enjoyed. And sometimes I just like experimenting with it. I believe that not every file has fractionation. Oh, the double entendre induction is also quite nice. But that's not really like a funniest file, but definitely interesting. I have a fair few puns here and there in the files. And yes, I should make more files with the loop trigger. What is the tickle induction called? Tickle torture. I believe that it is a patron file that has been free since November 2018. There's also teasing tickles or teasing tickling. Robert Blessing asks, would you ever do a female voice? Maybe. I don't know if I could do a really nice one. Nadine says, sausage puns are the worst. Julia Ruth asks, is there a loop function on the site? Otherwise, how do loop/trap file works? Actually, only for people that are silver or gold. Ashwolf Dreams asks, if you were in the Nickelodeon Avatar universe, what kingdom would you be in? Earth, air, fire, or water? Probably Earth. Although, considering my mind-bending powers, I could be a bloodbender. But I think we should stay with Earth. Jan Mars asks, sir, do you get hypnotized often, or do you only hypnotize others? I mostly hypnotize others. Iris asks, would you be upset if I dropped another hypnopun? Wake, just for safety. That definitely deserves a few bunnies, Iris. Oh no, now people are very worried about me as a bloodbender. Ooh, interesting one. Alex is Gay asks, why did you decide to use the D word instead of sleep, like most hypnotists? Well, for one, because sleep is a kind of misleading thing. I've always liked drop more, And I also like it because there is a sort of physical command in it as well. Nopiap asks, couldn't waterbenders just manipulate the water in the body? Well, theoretically, yes, but that's not exciting. That's why they have bloodbenders, which sounds much creepier. Just a Little Me asks, do you believe that anyone in chat could out-tease you? Teasing is not a contest. The whole point of teasing is that everyone has fun. If it becomes a contest, it's no longer fun. So a tease-off, by default, is doomed to fail. Coda asks, what is the most delicious thing you ate recently? I had a really nice lunch a few days ago with triangle breads and salmon and cream cheese, like it was smoked salmon. Neighborhood Bisexual asked, do you have any files where we sit on your lap? Asking for a friend. I think so. Ashwolf asks, would you ever make a vampire file with bloodbending, toying with the victim like a puppet on their strings? I will write this down, actually. Vampire file with bloodbending. Yep, definitely writing that down. Jen Mars asks, one thing that always makes you smile no matter what. I don't know if there's something that would always make me smile in every possible scenario. The original Pokemon theme is pretty good, and there's actually quite a lot of music that would cheer me up. And yes, before you're too excited about me writing it down, that just means 483. Exactly. Also, it's not actually 483 ideas because some of the notes have multiple ideas in them. So it's more. Robert Blessing asks, would you rather be spotted in public for who you are or people learning who you are? I mean, you can't really know who I am just by my work. Like, you can see the effort I put into it, but knowing who I am, my work is just a small part of who I am. Katie asks, how does one bicycle with a shoulder bag enter grocery bags? Met een rugzak, veel makkelijker. Madame Blackamus Prime asks, can you show us the difference between your Dom look and your angry look? I don't know if that's a good idea. If I look angry, then people might get upset. Iris asks, how often do you check Wisdom's suggestions? And is this an appropriate place for file classification error reports? I check Wisdom's suggestions usually within 12 hours of them, well within 12 hours of them arriving. They just arrive as a DM to me. And yes, you can definitely report file classification errors. Nadine asks, what is the most imaginative insult that you can come up with? Well, it depends on the type of insult. Let me see. First, of course, to give an insult, you need to know what you're insulting and why. You know, I do not often make comparisons, but I would say that that question is about as bright as the 100-year-old light bulb that is still faintly burning in some fire. What is it? Like a building for firemen somewhere in the US. And even though there's some light, it's not really enough to see by. But for imaginative insults, I would say that Yahtzee Croshaw is really fun. Fire department, indeed. Just Little Me asks, is batting of eyelashes effective in receiving what one wants? No. Actually, I'm reminded, like, for most creative insults, there's an insult that they did in Loading Ready Run. I think it's called the Cosmic Slam. Basically saying, like, the mass of a black star is so much that once something passes its event horizon, it is forever lost, compressed into the small nothing. And yet, it is feather light compared to your mom. Jezebel asks, is wide-eyed pouting effective? Oh no, not really. Jen Mars asks, what do you think about body mods? I mean, that really depends. To each their own. It's also like, if it works for you, like, it can be incredibly beautiful, but it can also be like too much. It really depends. Nobyab asks, can you be a sub and not want punishments to happen at all? Of course. Phoenix asks, can you make a strict little file that makes you tell one firmly to do their chores, tasks, and homework? I'll have a thought. Meowzapalooza asks, are there any kink files where we actually play? Yes, quite a few. Nadine asks, can you say something in your divine singing voice? Mastermind asks, if there was a Hypnotica restaurant, would you order a side of effects? I don't know, but I'd probably order a brain teaser as an aperitif. About 10 minutes remaining. I mean, there's, like, when speaking of insults, there's a lot of variations on, I don't believe I have any fucks left. Wait, let me call the warehouse. Do we have any more left? Etc, etc, etc. Annelies asks, when you come to the US, can you bring Hagelslag to share? I'm sure you can find it over there now. There's plenty of import stuff. Emma Swain asks, where are some cool places to visit in Amsterdam? I would say check amsterdam.nl. There's a lot of cool places. Lol J asks, can you make me laugh? Lol. Let me see. And indeed, there probably are not enough bunnies. It's not really a board for, like a plug for the Board of Tourism. The website is quite decent. The museums are really good, and the Van Gogh Museum is on a square with like 4 different other museums. Katie asks, at what time do Dutch people usually have their dinner? Around 6. Morley asks, the pros of short hair. Well, depending on how short it is, it does make it easier for brats to escape. See, long hair can be grabbed and pulled. Short hair, however, is easier to escape with. Annelies asks, I just want to see the tulip fields. However, they are not in Amsterdam, they are near Amsterdam. They are very pretty though. Alex is gay asks, do you like to swim? Yes. Jen asks, do you prepare tea with or without milk? Generally without. I mean, it depends on the tea, of course. I can enjoy milk in my tea with the right tea. Newt, long hair in a bun just makes it easier to grab. And Moose, I did say that the pros of short hair is that you're easier, like it's easier to escape. Just a Little Me asks, before we leave, could you be willing to do the most teasy thing you can think of, besides just saying no? Maybe. Come on, that was obvious. Mastermind asks, could you tell a bit more about the Ham online workshops? Can we just watch without participating? Yes, you can if you want. Nadine asks, can we get the amazing dominant look? You have to earn that. Xenix asks, do you have any fidget toys? And if so, which is your favorite? I mean, I fidget with whatever I can. Like, I don't need specific fidget toys. I generally play with whatever. Katie asks, kun je dit alsjeblieft lezen en antwoorden in Nederlands? Ja hoor. Nadine asks, so if my memory serves, you haven't done your evil laugh yet. Can you please do your evil laugh properly? It's been a while, I think. Nobyep asks, would you say hypnosis is common in kink? No, hypnosis is a niche kink. And I haven't broken any pens. I generally don't do anything that rough with it. And it's good exercise for my fingers. Let me see. Proper evil laugh. I mean, there's cackle, but let's do evil laugh. Proper evil laugh. Sarah asks, how's your day been so far? Pretty nice. Iris asks, what is a more effective punishment for you? Newspaper baps or punishments? Probably punishments, but it depends on the volume. Emma Swain asks, am I the only one hearing double entendres in playing with things and exercising fingers? Sure. Nude asks, very important question. Did you ever have an awkward haircut phase? And if so, what kind of cut was it? I don't know if this cut is not awkward. I've had long hair for a while. Quite a while, actually. Katie asks, did you watch Nimja as a kid? Not a lot. 5 minutes, 4 minutes remaining, actually. I should make a file with just all bunnies. And yes, I have talked about the awkward beard before. I don't like beards. I don't like having much hair, but the hair that I can grow there is just... it's unkempt. I think that is the nicest way to describe it. Sarah asks, one last teasy things for the viewers. Well, I don't need a pen to play with my fingers. Jen Marks asks, is there a question you've always wanted to be asked, but it never happens? Not really. I don't think there's like a specific question that I've been waiting for. Nadine asks, can you say a joke for me? How many bunnies do you need to change a light bulb? I have no idea, by the way. I would say a whole battalion, but they look adorable doing it. The green screen is moving in a spot. Oh, I'm sorry if I thought there was no problem with the green screen today. You know why bunnies prefer to delay jokes? Hair today, gone tomorrow. Nadine asks, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be and why? I would be a tree that would be really nice to climb in. I don't care about the actual, nature of the tree itself. Julia Roth asks, do you think parallel worlds or universes exist? Almost certainly, but I don't know if it'll ever be useful to know. 1 minute remaining. And I apologize if the color is changing. I don't know what's going on. I will do my best to fix what I can. The pen clicking brought back happy memories. Oh yes, that is indeed also a lovely celebration, the 100th file. And Becca Rose, if long hair makes it harder to escape, you don't have to cut your hair because I don't believe you want to escape. Neighborhood Bisexual asks, can we get hugs before you go? Hugs. Now it is time, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. I'm glad that you all had like a lovely time. And see you in a few weeks or next month. Of course, the files will keep on coming, don't worry. And as always, this was Nimja Live. Wake.